The first feeling was pride, I would say. I felt this enormous pride about sort of an affirmation of what working people believe when we come together, that anything is possible, and that whatever amount of money the opposition may have, it isn't enough to sort of take away our voice, take away our demands, that our government is responsive to us. So I was incredibly proud. And then the other thing that I haven't heard a lot about is just the level of respect and politeness that you meet from, like, I went up to anybody I saw that looked like they had spent the night to thank them. And so this, he said, well, who are you? And I said, I'm here with our members from SEIU, and I came from Washington, D.C. And he goes, well, I should be thanking you. And I said, no, you have made a difference for the whole country. And he said, well, I got inspired. I left the University of Chicago. I drove here overnight, and I wanted to be with people because I just feel like this is the first time that we are doing something in the U.S. that we've been watching in the Middle East. So there was this incredible sense of inspiration, I would say. I've been thanked throughout the past 8 hours and by each of our members. And I have to say, every time I'm thanked by them, I say back, are you kidding me? I'm incredibly grateful to each and every one of you for both the decision many of our members have made to leave their jobs and come to Madison and stand up with the rest of the people of Wisconsin, is how I think about this, not the rest of the labor movement, because this is much more fundamental, I would say, about the way of life in this country and economic fairness. We have University of Wisconsin registered nurses who have been galvanized by what's happening in the rotunda, by the larger debate. We have home care providers that are deeply concerned about the president's budget and the cuts to the people that they serve, who either have disabilities or are elders. So there's a lot at stake for us, I would say, both in terms of the work our members do every day in this state and the services they provide. But what I've been trying to say to each and every member that I've met is that this debate inside this state speaks to the hearts and minds of all working people in this country and around the globe, and that we are incredibly grateful that there's been a decision by the public service workers to draw a line and say, we will concede on our health care and pensions, but we will not concede on our voice on the job. And that ability to sort of say that we have to have collective bargaining rights to raise wages in this country has been incredibly inspiring to all of us. I think we can, because that's what makes Wisconsin so profound for the country, because all of these things are getting connected finally in a way that I think we've been trying to tell that story, but we haven't been able to punch through. That how our government decides to invest our tax dollars, and then who pays taxes, all is connected to how we can, what kind of work we can do and the quality of services we can provide. So one of the things that we think we need to do this week is make it much more clear which corporations in Wisconsin are completely getting away with paying no taxes whatsoever. And then looking at the top 2 donors to Walker and trying to expose that what's really behind this agenda is something that Scott Walker did not wake up and think about. This was not his idea. This is a coordinated plan to attack the last remaining organization that is trying to defend the American middle class in this country, and think about how to invest tax dollars in services for everybody. Well, the home care workers save all of us money because it's more cost-effective care for our elderly and disabled. And so that's one. Two, having a living wage allows the workers to maintain a level of continuity with their consumers that otherwise there's like 100% turnover when people are low paid.
Sure.
So that hurts the elders and the disabled because they're constantly having providers change. And then the third thing is that when you look at the deindustrialization of Wisconsin, we have to make a decision to invest in working people in order to lift our communities back up. And there's probably as many home care providers in the state as there used to be paper workers.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you think about the health and well-being of our community and economic fairness, we have to lift wages and provide benefits for all jobs, by the way, not just union jobs, which I think is the key. That's what I hope kind of punches through here, that what collective bargaining is the last line of defense for the American middle class.
Not all.
You know, many of our members at UW said this to me this morning, that they've had members that have been dormant, or anti, in the last 5 days, get completely changed by and understanding that this is about standing together for the kind of state we want to have in the future for our kids.
So this is something you've been hearing a lot from, current union members as part of your group, just been getting a lot of feedback about this already?
I started getting emails from Wisconsin because I have a long-standing relationship with the nurses here. And I started getting emails from them because they were very excited, and they were angry that I hadn't come into the state because they were seeing every other international president roll through. So they were making their appeal. But their biggest excitement was the same story. When you think about November 2nd in this state, right? Think about what happened here, where a lot of people that you would have expected to turn out stayed home.
Yeah.
And this one woman I met this morning as I was walking around saying hello, she said, I don't want you to announce this to everybody else, but I voted for Scott Walker, and I never dreamed that he was going to be this mean and ugly. So I came and held this sign. She had this sign, and I stood in the midst of the Tea Partiers because I wanted them to know that I was them and I can't be anymore.